Before we jump into this mailbag here on Chicago Bears Now, I'm your host, Harrison Graham. The Bears are playing the 49ers this week, and I'm trying to catch Chase and the 49ers report in subscribers as soon as possible. He's still got a healthy lead on me, but we've been slowly chipping away over the last several months. Let's get closer this week. Let's at least beat him in subs between now and kickoff. So that is up to you guys. Spread the word, youtube.com/Bears Now. If we beat him in subs, better chance we're going to beat him on the field. That is just science. So subscribe, and let's make it happen here on Chicago Bears Now. All right, I'm Harrison. Let's get into this mailbag here on the channel where we answer all of your questions here on Chicago Bears Now. Use hashtag Bears, or you can super chat to get your questions in. Okay, we got a super chat from our friend Paul Dow. Been a sub since 3K, and you do a great job with the show and game day. Are you at all nervous about this coaching staff will ruin Fields by coaching bad habits? And since run game was doing so well, why no play action? That's a lot. First of all, since 3K, that's dope, Paul. I appreciate that. By the way, I owe you a shot for a $10 super chat, so I will do that here in a moment. Am I nervous? I mean, yeah, I don't think this is the right staff for Fields. So, yeah, I mean, I think you need a new staff in here, number one. I think Fields is tough enough to flush this season and get going with the new staff. And, yes, no play action, stupid. We showed you guys the graphic during rumors. Fields needs more play action. Michael Ortman, trade A-Rob, Hicks, Foles, and more for draft capital. I owe you guys another shot. So 2 shots. $10 super chats equals a shot of fireball. Yes, I agree. I think the Bears should try to get some draft picks. Joe 2910, if the Bears fire Nagy, who should we hire next season? We'll probably revisit some top candidates to replace Nagy after the trade deadline or during the bye week, so stay tuned. I also released a video after the Browns game of top candidates to replace him, so you can look at my top 5 from then. You'll probably see some similar names the next time we do it, but I would get an innovative offensive mind like Kellen Moore or Brian Dable. Those would probably be my 2 top guys. Joe again with the super. A-Rob should be in Buffalo with the Jets? With Trubisky. I see what you're saying. MVP. Sure. I mean, Trubisky's not even starting, but I guess you could reunite those guys. A third shot coming up with the $10 from Bear Witness. Great show. Love you guys. Bear down for life, but geez, this season is exhausting already. Welcome to watching Chicago Bears football. You just never know what you're going to get. Appreciate the $10 super chat. Hopefully the Bears pick up a win on Sunday. Jacob with the $5. And I got to take a couple sips. Cheers. Would you start Borom over Bars if he comes back 100%? I think so. If he's fully healthy. Guys, they started Lachavious Simmons over Bars. Now, that was stupid, but that kind of tells you that Bars, he's serviceable. He's not a starter, though. Borom at least could be a starter. So, yeah. And, yes, he did play a little bit in Week 1 against the Rams, and I thought he settled in pretty nicely. All right, let's get to this one from Randy Bear. And, by the way, we'll take the shots before our next segment. So if you send in $10 super chats, stay tuned. I will take 3 shots. I'll rip them back to back to back. Should Chicago trade Andy Dalton? So NFL trade deadline coming up on November 2nd. I'm very open to trading Dalton or Nick Foles. I think if you could trade one of your backup quarterbacks, that's probably a smart move. I mean, we keep hearing about how valuable Dalton and Foles have been for Fields in the QB room. And I think there's some truth to that, but you don't need both of them. They've both been around the block. If you can trade one of them, get a day 3 pick for one of those quarterbacks, I think that's only good because this team needs more draft picks moving forward. So, yes, if you could get like a 6th-round pick for Andy Dalton, I'm absolutely down to do that at the end of the day. So what do you guys think? Will one of Andy Dalton or Nick Foles get traded? Type Y for yes, type N for no. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video, so if you get hit with the YouTube ad break, scroll on down and give me a Y or an N. Larry Lapper, I might be negative, but it's well-deserved. I use facts to support my concerns. I don't cross my fingers and hope for the best. Pace is problem number 1. I agree. Pace is mostly he's done more bad than good. That's the phrase I'm looking for. But how do you explain this? Marsh, pull up the play action versus non-play action stats. You're so out on Justin Fields already, maybe the coaches just aren't putting him in a position to succeed. If you're watching live, we showed this graphic earlier. In play action, he's pretty damn good. He's very good for a rookie. Non-play action, he's not very good. I mean, he's got room to grow as a pure drop-back passer, but why are they making him a pure drop-back guy 75% of the time? That's not his strengths right now. Like he's got to improve there. So why wouldn't you coach to his strengths? That's bad coaching. So I get what you're saying, but to be out on him already, I think that's very premature. Anthony Hadfield, who will be acting head coach come game time with Nagy out? It's a good question. The special teams coach, Chris Tube, is he's kind of running the meetings, as if you will, at Hallis Hall. I guess it could be him. It could be Mike Pettin, who's on this staff. He's an offensive analyst, I believe, up in the booth, but he doesn't have a ton of involvement. Are you going to put Sean Desai in charge? I guess you could do that, but Desai's been calling the defense from the booth, so maybe not that. Could you do John DeFilippo? We'll see, but I don't think Nagy's going to be cleared by game time, so who knows. Alan Mack, trade Allen Robinson to Jacksonville for a first or second rounder. We need the speed. We need the speed out wide. I don't know what that last part. Need to get speed out wide. They got speed. They just aren't getting open. I don't think you're getting a first for A-Rob at this point. Second, I would absolutely take, especially from Jacksonville, because that would be a very early second-round pick. Think about it. The Jags going to trade you a top 5 pick for A-Rob, because that's likely where they'll be drafting. It won't happen. Tiger, can we hire somebody to draft players only on the first, second, third, and keep pace for the 4th through 7th? Pace has been great on day 3. It just doesn't work that way. Now, an idea I could get behind is firing Ted Phillips, make Ryan Pace your president, and then hire a new GM. Because I think Pace has some good traits, and I think he could do some good things in this front office. I just don't want him making all of my football decisions. So that could be, another option. I doubt they'll do it, but they're not going to have shadow GMs, Tiger. Some guy, #Bears. We need a new scheme. I think we need to totally flip over the playbook and start fresh. So you need a new coach, right? That's kind of what we've all been saying. You can win against bad teams with Nagy, but against good teams and in big games, he's not good enough. That's kind of where we're at. That's why they went 8-8 last year. That's why they're 3-4 this year. Although I will give them credit, they've beaten the Bengals and the Raiders this year. The Raiders one was kind of weird because all the John Gruden stuff was going on. The Bengals one, I can't explain it. I think if the Bengals played the Bears again, they would win by 2 touchdowns. But hey, I guess you have to give Nagy credit for that one. Matthew Perlberg, Eddie Jackson should be traded. He has not lived up to the money we paid him. I would trade him for a second rounder or a good secondary player. That's the thing, though. You're not going to get a second for Eddie Jackson. I don't think you are. Maybe you get a third. Jackson's coverage has been pretty decent this year. He sucks at tackling, and he does get lost at times, which is frustrating. But, he's not lived up to the contract. There's no doubt about that. Speaking of money, though, you want to make some? Listen up. Chatsports.com/Bears. That will get you to the BetUS Sportsbook website. Enter that promo code BEARDOWN and make some money like I have been, because, my God, your boy is on a heater. I went 4-1 again last week. That's 4 straight 4-1 weeks. I'm up like $150 over the past month with BetUS. I missed the over on Carolina, New York, but I won the rest of them. Dolphins covered, Patriots won and covered. The under hit in that Bears-Bucks game. That was exhilarating if you were watching our Bears watch party. The over hit on Sunday Night Football, despite it being an absolute monsoon. Your boy is hot. I tweet out my picks every Sunday, so follow me, but also get going with BetUS. Chatsports.com/Bears. Promo code is BEARDOWN. Jordan Smith, A-Rob and a 5th to the Bills or Chiefs for a late first. I still don't think a team's going to send a first for A-Rob. He's on the franchise tag and is a free agent after this year. I don't think the Chiefs want Allen Robinson, number 1, especially not for a first. The Bills, that would be interesting, but I just don't – I don't think what's he done to get you a first? His track record's very good. I just don't think you'll get that. He's a rental. You're going to get a first for 8-9 games. You're going to have to pay him if you're a team. Someone will pay him, but they know that anyway. I think most teams know that the Bears aren't going to re-sign A-Rob. So if you're going to trade him, probably going to have to settle for a day 2 pick. Larry Lapper, give me Pace's good moves. He found Darnell Mooney in the 5th round. He found Khalil Herbert in the 6th round. He drafted Roquan Smith, who's an all-pro linebacker. I mean, those are kind of the big ones, right? Like I said, he's had way more bad ones than good. He's been bad at quarterback. He paid Mike Glennon. He traded for Nick Foles. He traded up for Trubisky in the same draft that included Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. He got Jalen Johnson in the 2nd round. That was a really good draft pick. He's arguably the best corner from last year's class. It's him and Trevon Diggs. Diggs has probably been a little better this year just because of the interceptions, but Johnson's actually better in coverage. He's had some good moves, but he's also had a lot of bad ones. And I'm with you, dude. I want Pace gone. Let's not act like I love Ryan Pace. Like, I don't think he should be the GM. Something I do love is Halloween candy, and Halloween is here, baby. So what's your favorite Halloween candy? Let's hear it down in the comments. What you munching on? Chocolate? Let's hear it. Favorite Halloween candy? Let me know in the comments. Let's go to Max Hill here. I'm done with the Justin Bus thing. He is going to be a superstar. Look at Josh Allen's rookie year. I mean, look, I don't know if he'll be a superstar. I hope he will. I think he's got the physical tools to be that. I think he obviously has a lot of growing to do. But, yes, Josh Allen's a great example. He legitimately stunk as a rookie. It's like, I mean, the numbers are kind of similar. Low completion percentage, poor decision-making at times, but you saw the raw talent. You saw the cannon arm. You saw the mobility. And with the right coach, Brian Daboll as his OC, he's evolved into a top 5, top 7 NFL quarterback. I think that could happen with Fields with the right coach. Amos Goldberg, I would actually trade David Montgomery right now for a 2nd and a 3rd. Look how good Herbert is. Herbert's been great. But you really think you're going to get a 2nd and a 3rd for Montgomery? You drafted him in the 3rd, and while he's been good, guys, he's a running back. You're not getting a 2nd and a 3rd. Maybe you get a 3rd. Maybe you get a 2nd. I doubt it, though. I think you'd probably get a 3rd for him, which would be okay. But I also still really like Monty. I'm looking at next year. I think Monty and Herbert is your 1-2 punch. Like, that's like a slightly worse Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. And we know how dynamic that's been for Cleveland. I think that has major potential. B. Zane, do you think there will be a major difference in game day without Nagy there? So, number one, and I'll reiterate this, if you're one of those people that's happy Matt Nagy has COVID, you're a loser and you're a piece of crap. That's number one. Number two, I don't know this part of it. I don't think it'll be a major difference. Bill Lazor will still call the offense. Sean Desai will still call the defense. The only question is who challenges plays and who's the guy, that the camera crew is panning to on the sidelines. I mean, I don't think a lot will change because Nagy's no longer calling plays. So I don't know how much of a difference there will be, but obviously it'll be a storyline and something to monitor this Sunday if indeed Nagy's not there, which I don't think he will be. Bezo, should the Bears consider moving Cody Whitehair back to center? I've seen this as a trendy topic on Twitter and Instagram and just social media that Sam Mustipher should be benched. And quite frankly, I can't really argue with it. He's not very good. He's just not strong enough to be a starting center. He was undrafted for a reason. I think he's a great backup. I think he's worked really hard, but he just gets pushed around, guys. He's a backup center. Whitehair and Daniels can both play center and both have. Now, they've been inconsistent there as well, but I do think they'd probably be an upgrade, and then you could put Alex Bars at either right or left guard. Amos, why not watch Ohio State film from last year and learn how they played Fields? Great point. I don't know. Matt Nagy is pals with Ryan Day, the Ohio State head coach. Here's what you do. Matt, call Ryan Day, 214-667-24. I don't know what his number is. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Matt. Hey, we're struggling offensively. Any suggestions with the quarterback you coached the last 2 years? Yeah, he does this well, 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 this well. Okay, sweet. All right, we're going to do more play action this week. I mean, come on, let's go. You're buddies with Ryan Day. Get him on the phone. Let's get it going. Larry Lapper, $5 super chat. Herbert played 2 games. Roquan was an alternate, but passed on Tremaine Johnson and Darius Leonard. Some draft, both earned starting Pro Bowls. False positive. So you're saying Roquan was a bad pick? Guys, he's a top 5 linebacker. He's a beast. Herbert, yeah, he's only played 2 games. I think he's shown in 2 games for a 6th round pick he was an absolute steal. Now, you can't be better in the 6th round than you are in the 1st. Like, how much clearer do I have to make it that I don't want Ryan Pace? But he has done some good things. It's okay to acknowledge that, Larry. I promise. Life will be okay. Twinquist gets the final word here. See how Mahomes looks with the struggling O-line. Look at Deshaun Watson's current situation. All in Pace. Didn't do too bad. Nagy broke Trubisky. Okay, number one, you had no idea this was going to happen to Watson. You can't look back and be like, well, drafting Mitch was the right decision because Watson became, a bad dude potentially. You don't operate that way. I'll sip for this one, by the way. And number two, you're insane if you don't think that taking Trubisky over Mahomes was a bad call. Now, people didn't think he'd be this good, but it's like, oh, Mahomes has had a few bad games here. How drafting Trubisky doesn't look as bad all of a sudden? Yes, it does. It wasn't a good pick.